Welcome once again here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. I'm Paul Condry, president and founder of the Regional Radio Sports Network. We're here broadcasting today from Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana. Championship Plaza is our place just outside the historic Goodman Gymnasium and just in between the Gates Auditorium. Hey, look at this. The new guy in town is with us here today. Jason Lewkowicz is with us, and, of course, the great one, Chris Hess, assistant AD, women's golf coach. And, Jason, I'm excited about getting this underway with you. For many years, Tony Natalia and I have spent time on this program promoting Bethel University athletics. Matter of fact, I think we may have even gone back to the days when we used that C word there when it was Bethel College, and now it's Bethel University. Chris Hess and I have been friends for over 2 decades. Been one of the most important people in my life, one of my dearest prayer warriors. To have you guys teamed up together on your first inaugural show with the championship trophy, I might add, and we are excited. So, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, it's been a great fall. Things have been coming in fast and furious, but we didn't even get through October without getting our first national championship. So we're off to a great start.
Well, it's been a great start athletically here in Mishawaka, because if you look at where the Pilots are at in regards to the Crossroads League here in the fall, most of the teams having a tremendous amount of success. And I know a lot of those coaches that are working so hard, athletes just really putting in the time, both on and off the field and courts, whatever the case may be. That has to be very, very gratifying, Chris, for you as well as for Jason, because it's all about doing the work.
Absolutely. It's fun to see, just with the culture that we have in our department. It's fun to see all these teams really having a lot of success, but then you get to see day to day with our student athletes just the way that they're growing in so many ways, growing in their faith, growing in what they bring to the campus and the community, and, of course, success on the field, golf course, wherever that might be. That's fun, too.
I know for you, you've been in this role as an assistant AD for a long time now. So I'm going to flip a little bit of the script here, and I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about what you've been able to glean thus far in working with Jason. I know it's always great to have someone come in and provide a new sense of energy, new sense of vision. Sometimes you need someone from the outside coming in to give you a new look. And I think we've done that on our team over the many, many years. We brought in new people to give us a new look, and I think that's been very, very enlightening. And I tell you what, I think it's Jason coming in. It's been a big go for you guys.
It is, and it's I think my fifth athletic director that I've worked under, and it has been interesting because all the other ones were either here or were Bethel guys historically. So it is nice to have a fresh pair of eyes on things, but a totally different perspective. And you put me on the spot. Here I am. I got to talk about my boss.
Yeah.
Even talking to some of our student athletes in their interactions here in this first 6-8 weeks. Jason's brought he brings a lot of great ideas, but the thing that I've been most impressed with, and the students have actually commented to me, is just his intentionality with his focus on Christ. And I think the coaches, and we have a history of success here athletically, and we do, spiritually as well, but I really appreciate, and I know the students have actually noticed that, man, this guy really cares more about our souls than he does the scores. And not to say that anybody else didn't, but that's been his focus, and that's really been awesome to start out here this fall.
Well, that's good. That's at least lunch at Fiesta Tapatia for that kind of endorsement, right?
Let's go. Or a little more in the budget would be great.
Okay. All right,
I'll see what I can do.
All right, Jason, how's it going, man? I mean, seriously, with tough shoes to fill. I mean, Tony has been a fixture here. He and I basically started about the same time. Boy, I tell you what, he has worn so many hats, from being an assistant basketball coach, head track coach, athletic director. He's been involved with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So he's had his tentacles out there that's made an impact on hundreds and hundreds of lives. And those are some tough shoes to fill. So talk about filling those shoes.
Yeah, well, it's been great having Tony around, first of all. And to be honest with you, I don't try to step in those shoes. And I think something I learned about leadership a long time ago is the best pathway forward is to be the best version of yourself, to walk in your own shoes. And so he obviously, there's a legacy of this place that Tony built upon, and Tom before him, and those before him. And so I just want to come in and do my part to continue to push things forward. And, the DNA of this place is fantastic, and we're rooted with Christ being at the helm. And so there was alignment there. So I just need to pick that up and run with it daily. And we have such a great staff. And so it's just great to be able to take the gifts and the skills that God has given me and that he's, allowed me to use to this and to do it to help, rise the tide of what's happening here. And so, I think I've always kind of looked at it as with your predecessors, you glean the wisdom, but you have to walk in your own space and your own path that God's laid out. And so that's what I'm trying to do with respect to the past, but with an eye on the future as well.
All right, Chris Hess, championship trophy right there in front of you. What else? I know the old adage is what are you going to do for an encore? But, you've got more you have more rings than the Lord of the Rings. You are the Lord of the Rings. How many more are you going to add in that jewelry case, man? How many has it been now?
Well, that's
like 25, 30, 35?
I need some for the toes, so I got room for 9 more.
I knew that.
Yeah. No, it's a blessing. This one was a little bit different. We went down last year after winning 3 in a row, so there was some pressure on a really young team, and this year a little less pressure going down as a 3 seed at this tournament, but a lot of fun. This one is special just like they all are because of the people that earned it and won it.
4 of the last 5 years, the championship. That is just unheard of in education-based athletics. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's been a good run, but we're still a really young team. We have in our top 5 this fall. We had 3 sophomores and a freshman, so we want to continue to get better.
Wow.
If I could jump in real quick, tell me about day 1 to day 2, because day 1 wasn't what you were hoping for, wasn't what you anticipated. So talk about what was said, the mindset, because you came out in day 2 and it was lights out from there on out.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It a lot of people when they think golf, they just think you just tee it up and you go. But we went in I think we were really prepared for this championship, and we went in day 1 and we just didn't execute the way that we wanted to, and we struggled a bit really early, but we actually kind of held it on when we got to the back 9, and it actually kept us close. We were 8 shots back after round 1, so we knew let's go out day 2 and we can play a little bit better on the front. Well, we went out day 2 and we did not play well on the front, and by the time we got through now half the tournament, 27 holes in, we're down 15.
Wow.
And I remember zipping around to the back 9 with my assistant coach, Mike Watson, and I said, Mike, it's actually holes 11 through 15 are the hardest holes in the course. And I said, we either do it now or we don't do it at all. It's now or never. And these 5 ladies, all 5 of them, just lit it up on that back 9. And before the end of that round, we turned an 8-shot deficit, actually 15, into a 15-shot lead going into the last round. So 30 shots on the back 9 that we made up. That's really playing great golf.
Yeah.
Talk about the names of the girls. Let's mention that, because without their excellent work, you wouldn't be sitting here with another championship trophy.
Oh, Sela Unwin, she's a senior, 4-time All-American, now 3 national championships. Before the tournament, Sela was honored with the highest award for the NCCA, the Dan and Kelly Wood Award. It's merit based, so she has to be a great golfer, but it's more of a character award. Sela, there needs to be a movie about this young lady. She would not be at all ashamed for me to tell this story quickly. As a freshman, she came to coach and told me that she was going to have a baby, and that doesn't always maybe look like the future is going to be good for as far as being a college athlete, but I was maybe in all the years that I've been here at Bethel the most proud of the way that our Bethel campus and community and administration, the way they really supported her in that, showed a lot of grace and love, and here she, 2 weeks after she has her baby in the fall, she's back out at practice.
Wow.
Continued on as a student. Was an All-American that year, won a championship then again that year. And so Sela's just had an unbelievable 4-year run as a leader, and she's just, I can't even speak enough about how amazing she is. She loves the Lord, and she leads She's our spiritual leader on the team, and just an amazing story. And then from there, 3 sophomores that, again, went down last year with a lot of pressure on them, didn't play really well last year, but really have grown a lot in their experience, went down and just got it done this year. Izzy Agner is a sophomore, was an All-American this year. She played great. Megan Bishop is another sophomore, had an amazing tournament down there. Carissa Dyer, local kid here from Northridge High School, she played great. It was just really awesome to see where they were in a year. They went down there as freshmen, and I don't know if they were afraid, but they were pretty nervous, had a lot of pressure, and then they got it done. And then we have another freshman who was an All-American again this year. Ellie Webster from England. I have 2 players from England. And Ellie Webster, she was an All-American, played great. She was our most consistent player this fall. Only player in the tournament that shot in the 70s all 3 rounds. She's going to have a great career. She's had a great fall this year. So very young team, but they got it done. And what was nice for me as a coach in the final round, it was pretty – I always tell my team, until we're up by 22 strokes, because 22 is my number, then I can kind of relax. So when we hit the back 9 on the final round, I saw we were up 22. I took a screenshot on the live scoring, and from that point it was just an afternoon to enjoy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Jason, you think about the pressures of student athletes making decisions, and I know Chris and I have had this conversation for many, many years, is that when the entire community comes together and shows grace and mercy, because let's face it, you look at what Jesus did, the grace and mercy that he pours into our lives each and every day, and how that story, that is, I don't think there's a greater testimony to this institution that you would have that. That's an amazing story.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, it should be the norm, right? Far too often it's not,
absolutely.
right? To be the heart of Christ, the mind of Christ. How would Jesus look at that situation and approach, his daughter in that situation? And so even though I wasn't here to know, it just speaks more volumes to what I know to be true about Bethel and the people that are here, and we're truly chasing after Jesus. And to do that is to walk in the mess with people, and because we're going to have those times, and when we can rise above together, be the cloud of witnesses. That's going to help our students, and it's going to help our faculty and staff, everyone involved, just kind of move to this place of growth. But to have that community, it's just it's one of the amazing things about Bethel.
I was just going to add, that's perfect. It's for Sela, though. She's just, and I say it's an amazing story. She's used this. First of all, she's a tremendous mom, and we had a team function last night at our house, had a bonfire, and she brought Everett, her little boy, and she's just an amazing mom, just like I knew she would be. But she has used this as a platform to share her testimony and to share what Jesus has done in her life, and that's probably great. That is greater. That's greater than any championship ring or trophy, and she's used this to share the love of Christ.
Yeah, for the 3 of us, we all dads, and we also understand the dynamic. It's like we hear a story like that, and it's like, I want to incorporate. That's a young person that I want my kids to emulate, and I want to be able to emulate the grace and mercy that the campus here poured out on that. So that's a great story, even for us, is that at our ages, as dads. We have to be able to do that more and more each time, in each and every day.
Yeah,
we would want in a situation like that, we would want people to come around our kid and love them in that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Jason, getting used to all the different coaches and the personalities, and establishing some things is probably, I think, one of the biggest challenges, because each coach and as a former coach, you understand this. There's a little bit of ego there and you have to have it, quite frankly. If you're successful people, their egos are there. Some are bigger than others. Some are spread out all over the place. And so you've got to manage all the egos. But you also have to be able to be an encourager. You also have to be a person who's going to be able to set some standards. And the bar is here. And so talk about getting to know somebody, getting to know your coaches in a completely different way than, you can look at Chris Hess's record. You look at all the championships he's won, and to me, those are really, really cool. But his heart is amazing. I mean, I get emotional thinking about it because when I look at that dude, I see Jesus in the way he acts, the way he behaves, the way he. So, give me an idea from your vantage point as the athletic director here on getting to know your staff, getting to know your coaches, and getting to know all the people that you're surrounded by. Because if you don't know them, you can't lead them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm spending a lot of this first year doing is just getting to know our people. And again, they're amazing. We have such great coaches and support staff and the folks that have hung around our department just to serve. The John Natales who handles our compliance and concessions and just plugs in gaps. And we have so many heroes. But our coaches, it's been a lot of fun just getting to know their personalities, to see where their individual programs are at and how we can take them higher. You know, I think the beautiful thing about athletics is there's always another way to level up. So even with golf, we've talked about, okay, how can we get to a place where we're going to the NAIA national championships every year? And not to diminish anything, national championship is great. We have the opportunity to work in both spaces. And so whether we're talking about going from great to even greater, or a team that maybe has great culture but hasn't been performing well, how can we get you to a level where, you know, we're moving up in the crossroads or we're qualifying for NCCAAs? And so each sport is its own organism, has its own challenges and opportunities. And so I'm having a blast just coming alongside those coaches and trying to bring out their best. And, you know, it's a work in progress, and it's going to always be that way. But again, I'll say what unites us all is Christ, and the fact that we're never going to sacrifice culture for success. And in fact, success without a foundation in Christ is sinking sand anyway. And so we want to have a foundation that our students know that we're about discipleship, we're about pointing them to the love of Christ, and that comes from our coaches more than anyone else. And so that's our starting point. That's what we want to be about, and that, I think, sets us up to do things the right way for the right reasons.
Talk about the landscape for both of you guys as administrators. The landscape for private Christian education, it's challenging. If you look at the public school scenarios, they have a little bit more leeway. It's challenging in regards to raising funds, to being able to be competitive with some of the situations that you may not have. Give us an idea, and I want to give both of your guys. Recently, we found out that Trinity Christian College is closing down at the end of this school year, and Trinity International a couple of years ago. And so we're seeing this. It's an alarming trend. We're seeing colleges getting out of athletics completely. So kind of give us an idea of some of the challenges and how the public can help walk beside you guys and be able to get over some of those challenges. Because I think it's important that our community gets involved, whether it be from providing resources with regards to money or with volunteering time. There are so many things that our public, the Bethel Nation, can step in and help fill and get some things done for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've heard our President McDonald, say this multiple times, that Bethel is the best kept secret in Indiana. So we have to get the word out. And I think differentiation and being unique matters. And so we are unique in this state. I think nationally with the Christian higher education that we offer, the student experience that we offer. So we have to go and let people know. We have to tell our story, highlight amazing people like Coach Hess and all the many wonderful folks at Bethel, and garner that support. Finances matter, students matter, so we have to work into those spaces. And there's some new strategies being talked about, and I'm excited about where we're going to be going in those spaces. And also prayer and asking God specifically, you know, what do you want us to know about this season that Christian higher ed is facing? What do you want us to do? Lord, can you show us a new way to do this that's never been done before? Like, I think sometimes we sell God short. He's coming alongside us with us. He knows what's going on. He knows the landscape. So I think spending intentional time going before the Lord to ask for wisdom and for ideas and the boldness to execute those things, even if they're new or maybe haven't been done before. So those are the type of things I'm thinking about. But we have such a great product and such a great opportunity here. We just have to tell the story.
Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's really good. while Jason was answering that, I'm just thinking, how do we promote who we are? For every Sela Unwin that I told you about, there's a ton of kids here that it's just to tell their story, and we promote who we are with those student athletes, and not just the student athletes, but the students as well. So we've got tremendous stories out there, and Bethel looks a lot different than it did when I came here 30 some years ago. But all it means is maybe we have to adapt a little bit in the way that we approach that. But to tell those stories, if you would know who our kids are and really get to hear what they're about, you would love what Bethel's doing and want to be a part of supporting it.
When you look back on the early days and how this place has evolved, and when I came in, when Coach Lightfoot hired me initially 25 years ago, or 26 years ago, whatever it is, I look back on how much this place has evolved, not only physically, but I would look at the way the athletes are and the way the staff is engaged. And I look at all the coaches I've worked with over the many, many years, Jody Martinez, Seth Zartman, yourself, and of course Mike Lightfoot, Tony Natal. I go up and down the line of all the amazing coaches that we've had here. But I keep thinking back about the stories of how the coaches here have helped transform the lives of the student athletes by putting them in positions where they could be successful, giving them an opportunity to see the gospel lived out in their daily lives by the way the coaches handle themselves in places of adversity. You're the perfect example. The health issues that you've had, how you've been able to fight through the health issues, and people saw your vulnerability, and they saw how you never wavered in regards to your faith in Christ. Yes, there were some very, very difficult and dark times. You and I have shared those over the many, many years, but people can see how Jesus has affected your lives. And when you have coaches that are zeroed in on that, that is, to me, the amazing story. When people ask me about all the time about, why is Bethel special? It's because of the coaches and the kids, because of how the coaches have poured into the lives of the kids. And I've seen kids' lives literally transformed.
Yeah, it's you kind of nailed it, and we do have a long history, so you know some of the things that I've gone through. But I just think here we are, and we're in Championship Plaza, powered by First Source Bank. There's trophies all around us, but at some point, at least for me, as a young coach back in the early 90s, you want to make your way. Can I do this? Do I know what I'm doing? You want to give it a great experience to your student athletes. But then at some point in my career, and I think it's probably that way for all the coaches here, you realize that these trophies, they don't really mean a whole lot. And what means even more is those eternal victories, those impacts. Absolutely. So you want to give a great experience, and you want to impact lives. It's a blessing every day to come in here, and you just get to do life with people that you love, and that means not only your student athletes, but the people on the staff and on this campus.
Jason, you got anything else before we wrap this one up? How's it been for you so far? I haven't poked you too much, have I?
No, you haven't. And in fact, I think it's only fair now, since we're sharing the show, that I poke you a little bit.
All right, bring it on.
I'd love to add maybe a session to this called three questions, where I ask you guys some questions. I'm new to Bethel, new to Michiana, so how about I toss some things your guys' way so I can learn about this place? Does that sound good?
This is all unfiltered, right?
Unfiltered. You know me. I'm totally unfiltered.
Yeah, short response. We got three questions, so short responses. Okay, what I want to know first, what is your favorite Bethel athletic memory?
Favorite Bethel athletic memory? No brainer. The 2007 National Championship, Christian National Championship. Will Walker, Ryan Lightfoot, Tyler Brown, those guys winning the national championship. An amazing moment. Watch those guys got beat up as freshmen and go down to and win the championship. Pretty amazing moment.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's a lot.
I know you got to pick one.
Coming home, let's see, I'm looking over at championships. Would have been the 98 men's basketball championship. Rico Swanson hitting the game, but not the game itself. On the bus home, my wife was very, very, very pregnant, and and getting off the bus, the crowd of people welcoming, the team, walking off the bus and seeing her. Just looking up, I'm getting a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then a couple days later, she has our first child. But just being gone from her, thinking, man, she might have this baby while I'm gone, but there she was. And it's just a look in a moment, a snapshot in time that I'll always have.
That's great.
All right, what's the next?
Don't be bringing out emotional stuff.
I'm gonna scale down a little bit. Well, and first of all, so the theme of today has kind of been championships, and we've talked a lot about winning. We could have easily made room for our men's soccer conference championship trophy that they won last week, and hopefully adding another in a few days.
We could have put it right there.
We could have put it right there, absolutely. So this is going to take you way back.
Okay.
Think about the first time that you ever won something. Think about that moment and share with me what that was. For me, it was third grade spelling bee, and in Mrs. Walters' class. Shout out to Mrs. Walters at Jefferson Elementary School. She taught me how to spell, and I've got a ribbon somewhere. So how about you guys? First thing you ever remember winning? It can be sports.
Well, I just remember in high school, at Hobart High School where I grew up, we won the school's first ever boys basketball sectional championship, and we got the day off, went to Chicago and played, and had a chance to be a part of that. That was incredible.
That's a great one.
Okay, not something I won, but I felt like I won because I was just a kid. I must have been 4 years old at a Minnesota Twins game, sitting in the upper deck of a game, and Harmon Killebrew's at bat, and I remember my dad saying, "Come on, Killer, hit us a foul ball up here." Next pitch, foul ball lands in the seat right next to us. So I got a ball from Harmon Killebrew, foul ball. So that was my first victory.
He was a good one.
That is a big win.
That's a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, last question for me for today. Again, new to the area. I love food. I love going out to eat. I love doing community with food. What's the one place I need to go out to eat? We'll say two-part question, family and then date night. Where do I need to go?
Well, my favorite Mexican is the same as Chris's.
Well, don't steal mine.
Fiesta Tapatía.
Let me go first. Too late.
Fiesta Tapatía is our favorite place.
They should be paying us.
They should. Beef O'Brady's, where I do my radio show every Thursday night, is one of my favorite places. Those would be two for me. I think pizza, my favorite pizza locally is Barnaby's.
Okay,
that's why we basically have the same thing.
You got to give me something. We need to go to Barnaby's. I have not done that yet.
Okay, well, this will be sad. I don't really go out a whole lot, but you can't steal Tapatía. That's my go-to. And for pizza, for me, it used to be, I think it's like the love child of Bruno's. It's actually Mimo's over on Edison Road. But so pizza for me is there, and you can't take Tapatía. I own that one.
There we go. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you been to either?
I've been to Fiesta Tapatía. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
I'll be back.
Didn't get sick, did you?
No.
Okay.
You're in good shape then.
Absolutely. All right. You guys survived the first edition of 3 Bernie Questions.
All
there
right.
you go. Congrats.
We're excited about it. Hey, a special thanks to Alexis. Done a wonderful job here at Sports Information. That's something that we need to give her a shout out. Not only are you starting new, she's starting new. And it's a tough job being involved with so many different sports here. So kudos to Alexis for great work.
Absolutely. She's doing great. She's got a stubborn boss that just tells her to figure it out a lot of times. And so
that's the best kind of boss.
Yeah, she's doing fantastic.
Yeah, Tanner Camp, who's producing our program today, understands all about that. Just figure it out. That's what you got to do. Well, that's going to do it here today, folks. Once again, thanks again for joining us here on the Jason Lewkowicz Show. I'm Paul Condry for the legendary Lord of the Rings master himself, Chris Hess, National Championship coach. Again, 4 championships in the last 5 years. Best of luck to the rest of the Pilots teams in the postseason. Several of them are still being active. Continued success. Men's and women's basketball getting off on a good start as well with some success early on. That's going to do it. Once again, from Championship Plaza, powered by First Source Bank, we thank you for joining us here from Bethel University. I'm Paul Condry. God bless you all.